I thought, well, it's, you know, I can't really hurt anything, and if I do sort of interfere with anybody, I'll just have to apologise. Back to you, M1 ERS, Steve, M3ZX3.
M3ZX3 in the group, M1 ERS. Okay, actually, okay, yeah, you got probably been Andy or Jeff, what programmed it for you. So, all you've got to do really, if it's set for HD, and you're OPT 1 and 2, if I just said to your main routing box is your UART box, which is where you've got your CQ in now at the moment. But if you turn your VFO, it will go through your memory settings. I don't know what sort of information they put for accessing up on the screen, i.e. if you want to connect to DB7 Sugar Fox or wherever, or Reflector. But it should be okay then. It should be okay, actually. But yeah, you know what I mean. You can't sort of do any, I'll say, any damage. All you can do is if you route into a specific repeater, you'll be heard on that repeater, even though you're on HD. You know what I mean. They won't hear anybody else on HD if you're just routing that repeater. They'll hear you, and they'll sort of tell you. Because when we first got into it, like. Jim in California says, Stephen, you're putting audio out in California. So I says, oh, I'm sorry about that. Because my porting was set to California. But it's nice to hear you anyway. And I'm glad you can sort of get around it. But yeah, with the software and the lead, you're a lot better off because you can see it up on the screen. You can see sort of what's programmed and what's happening. Where on the radio, you've got to physically go through it. And it is really a tedious job, should I say. It's not impossible, but it's a tedious job. And it's a lot better with it up on the screen. You can sort of just type in, edit it, change it, and then you've got it on the radio. Anyway, I just jumped in just to say good morning. I'm listening to it, I'm just having a drink of tea and what have you. But it's nice to hear you, Ashley. And I'll leave you with her for a bit. I don't know if anybody else is on Reflector. But I'll pop it over to you, Trev. M0TWS to take it in the group, M1 ERS.
M0TWS, yeah, morning, Steve. Yes, actually, don't worry about it. We've all been done it, and we still make mistakes to this day. So margin for error is great. But anyway, you'll get used to it. Basically, once, like we say, you've got your radio set, I say everybody does it differently. The background of the radio is set up the same. The way that you work your memories out is everybody does it different ways, but to cut a long story short, what we've done for ourselves in Sheffield on SF is set it up that we have it for normal operations on 2 and 77s, which is C and B port, so we can see that C, we're on that, we've just put GB7SFC in the window. If we connect to reflectors, then we do have an area where it says, you know, reflector, whatever, so we know what reflector we're connecting to. We also have disconnect commands as well, and it says 7.3's reflectors, things like that. But all the groups have done different things, but majority of information that's gone around country moment has come from SF. A lot of it, yeah, I know it's populated in Scotland and a lot down south, but everybody does tailor make it, you know, to make it work, or what they feel happy with, what they want to see in the screen. But the background of it must stay the same for each individual repeater. Actually, that's all it is. But once you key up, all the work's done. You just key up and toe, basically. But like you said, connecting to reflectors and connecting to, you've got three ways of looking at it. There's connecting to the reflectors, there's connecting to individual call signs, which it'll do, or you can connect to individual repeaters. So there's three different types of connections that you can do, actually. And you take it in little steps, because it's a lot of taking all at once. Anyway, back to you, actually, from M0TWS via Sugar Fox Seaport.
M3ZX3 returning. Yeah, QSL. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean about it's quite a lot to take in. I don't think I'd have been able to program the radio, you know, from buying the radio and not having sort of like much knowledge of amateur radio anyway. To start and program the radio, you know, from scratch, it's not so bad if you understand the principles of what you're doing, you know, and then you've got to learn how to do it. But for me, not understanding the basic principles, it would have been sort of like nearly impossible for me to do it. So I opted for the program. You know, they programmed the radio and everything in, and the idea was for me to learn it little bit by bit. They also gave me a couple of those DVD things, which I've watched, which are quite interesting about selling out in America. I learned a little bit from that. So I've probably got a brief sort of introduction into the E-Star. The only problem was, you know, is like the settings on the radio. I just didn't want to sort of key up and find that were coming out to every repeater in the world at the same time. So I don't know if that is actually possible, but you know, I just didn't want to do it. But I'm sure somebody would have told me by now if I'd have been. So anyway, I much appreciate your help. Anyway, I like to say you're my first contact on the E-Star. So that's great. So I'll put it back to you, N3ZXP.
N3ZXP and 02WS and company. Okay, Ashley, no problem. Well, it's nice to hear you, and a nice welcome to the E-Star. You've probably noticed from analogue that we think it's a lot clearer. What is the off-putting one that takes a bit of getting used to is we don't get no, well, you do get a pick from repeater, but you don't get no da-di-da care out like that. And you know, like you generally get on analog repeaters, you don't get the noise if you're flickering in and out with repeater on analog. Like with E-Star, you're either there or you're not there. It's as simple as that. There is that one where people say, oh, it sounds a bit R2D2, and that does happen. But if you're mobile, it's even harder. You're either in the repeater or you're not. It's as simple as that. It's that's the way digital works. But we find it's a good system, and I'm going to say I've been spoilt with it, to be honest, with the clarity of how clear it is. And especially when you start hearing other stations coming in from all over the place, it just sounds like they sat in the shack with you, Ashley. So it is a big eye opener, and but like I say, I'm not wholeheartedly overload on all of the bands, and that's it really. So you know, it's just another mode in the radio to enjoy into, and not forgetting, of course, because people they keep saying, oh yeah, but these radios are very expensive. Well, I have to argue that one, because years ago when I bought me VX5, which I still got on bench here, that was £329. Well, these E91s are about 340 odd, so they're not that far out price wise.